Hello everyone, Bob Smitty here. I'm going to talk to you today about my vacation. Or should I say, the time of much exercise and misery in New York City. Now many of you think, oh well, New York City is such a great place. It has so many great landmarks and historical stuff. And yes it is, that's true. It has a lot of good stuff to see there. Statue of Liberty, the top of the Rockefeller Center, the top of the Empire State Building, One World Trade Center, Ellis Island. You learn about the immigration, it's been going on the past hundreds of years. Well, they closed that place down in like the early 1900s. Now it's just a kind of a museum type thing. And yeah, there's a lot of cool things to see there. But it depends on when you go to New York City. Because if you go in April like I went, it's still kind of cold up there. And by kind of cold, I mean like your ears and nose could fall off cold. I mean, just the wind chill in that city was ridiculous. I mean, okay, you're walking between the buildings and everything seems fine. It was like 45 degrees, not too bad. Had a heavy jacket on. And then you round the corner and the end of the first day when we got to the hotel, my ears were like red from like windburn. And I think that is a thing, windburn. I've heard of it before. Haven't looked it up though. Yeah, like I had like the little raccoon thing going on. It's like windburn here, here, and here, and I recovered over the first night. But yeah, it was cold. New York City is cold. I heard that there's a very short period of time in the spring when it's actually good, because it goes from like freezing cold to like scorching hot in a matter of a week or two, somewhere in May, I think. And when it gets hot, I've heard that the problem with that is the garbage in New York City plus the scorching heat from summer actually makes the smell of the garbage like 10 times worse. So you smell it like pretty much almost all over the city. Okay, where to begin? All right, Wednesday. It was like the first Wednesday in April we got there. I was with my cousins. And, at first I was excited. I was so anxious the night before because our plane was leaving at like 6 in the morning, so we got up really early, which I have no problem with. I can be an early riser when I want to be. I only got 1 hour of sleep because I was so excited to go to New York City. I've never been to New York City before. And I get up, after my 1 hour sleep, I'm a little groggy. I kind of got up late. They had to call me on the phone. I had it right next to my bed. And I was like, oh crap, it's almost 3 a.m. We gotta get dressed real quick. So I did. I had all my stuff pre-packed before, so I was prepared in that way. Just wish I'd gotten up on time. And we drove to the airport in Atlanta. We took off. Oh, great thing about Hartsfield-Jackson. For some reason, early in the morning, their train was down. Now, Hartsfield-Jackson Airport has terminals A through F, and it has an international terminal. Our plane was at Terminal D, so when you get in the parking lot, you start at the baggage claim T and then A, B, C, D. We had to get down to D. The train wasn't working, so we walked. And, I had no problem. I was kind of full of energy. I was energetic. And we just, we walked down. They have those little flat escalator things that get you there a little quicker. I would have preferred the train, but oh well. I don't know why it was down. I mean, there's nobody working on it. So we get to Terminal D. We wait, and there's a lot of waiting at the airport. So, I knew that was going to happen. Brought my little iPod Nano along. Oh, here, come show that. Here's my iPod Nano. I love this thing. It's so small. It's nice. Product placement. But yeah. So I was listening to that a while. Then finally we can board the plane. And we were flying with one of those airlines. It's kind of like a smaller airline. It's not like Delta or anything. It's one of the smaller ones, and they're starting to branch out with more flights and everything. They advertised that on the way there and the way back because we had a round trip ticket. And, we were just kind of close. The armrest in this plane, I think the plane was like a 737. No, it was Airbus A320, which there's one of the smaller planes. And the seats are real close together, and so we took off from there. Everything was going great at first. So we get there, LaGuardia Airport, which is in Queens, New York, it's a small airport. I mean, compared to Hartsfield-Jackson, LaGuardia is like, you know, boop, and Hartsfield-Jackson is like, brrr. It's ridiculous. I thought New York would have like bigger airports, but New York has 3 airports. I mean, like JFK, LaGuardia, and whatever the other one is. So everything's going great so far. My cousin had rented a limousine service, which is not technically a limousine. It's one of those big black SUVs. You know, they're really good at forcing cabs off the road. No, he didn't do that. He was a cool guy. And he drove us across the Queens Bridge. There's a lot of traffic, of course, New York City in the early morning. We get to our hotel. This hotel that we had got was one of those small bargain hotels. It had 14 floors in the building. And this is when the trip started getting kind of crappy. We got there. It wasn't time for us to go up to our rooms yet, not until 3 p.m. like most hotels do. I don't know. I guess give enough time for the people behind us to leave. But we had gotten there early, so, we'll just walk around New York City some. So we left our luggage there. And this hotel, in the lobby, I could tell it was going to be one of those special hotels. Because they had all this artwork. It wasn't really artwork. I'm sorry. The people in the artsy-fartsy business now, I accept, as a former art student, some artwork is weird, but it has its own cool thing. This artwork was total crap. And they were like, oh, just looking here, we got it on the walls. And all the little TVs had like different pictures around New York City of people like posting a sheet of paper on a metal pole with a drawing on it. And they said, oh, that's art. But yeah. So we left the hotel and we started walking. We actually made it to the Empire State Building before the lines got too bad. And we already had one of those pre-made tickets we printed off on the internet a few nights before. And went to the top of the Empire State Building. That was awesome. And I'll put some pictures on there. Hopefully. Yeah, there they are. Okay, good. I can still edit. That's good. So yeah, that was a cool trip to the Empire State Building. And then we went back down and we started walking some more. Walking and walking and walking and walking and walking. That's another thing about New York City. Oh, I was so surprised. Okay, I'm just used to Georgia, but I was surprised at the lack of fat people in New York City. It blew my mind because, I was walking that whole day on Wednesday, looking around. There's thin people everywhere. There's I didn't see one fat person. Okay, maybe, later on the trip we did. But I guess they were tourists just like us because they came back to the airport. And yeah, there was just, everyone was so skinny, and that's because everybody in New York City walks. Oh my God, the taxi cab drivers and other people that dare try to drive in New York City. But yeah, everyone was just all thin and stuff. I mean, they looked fit. And of course, there was like exercise clubs and stuff like that there too. Oh yeah, there was a ridiculous amount of McDonald's stores there. They're ridiculous. I mean, like, not every street corner, but like about every couple blocks we walked, there's some kind of like strip store McDonald's or, in a little cubbyhole McDonald's. I was tempted, I gotta say. So what else did we do on Wednesday? Because that was our first day. It wasn't a full day, but we did quite a bit of stuff. Thursday, we went to the Metropolitan Museum of Art. There was some cool stuff there. I like history, but it did kind of bore me. We were there for like 3 hours, and I was like, yeah, there's some cool stuff here, yeah. And then, once again, you see that kind of art that warrants almost no value, and people are like, oh, look at it, it's so good, it's art, oh, it's beautiful. It comes from the greatest minds of our time. Really? Okay. Some of the stuff that got me was etchings. Imagine if you were doing the dash thing. You know how a guy in a prison cell in a movie, He's marking the days he's in prison by, doing 1, 2, 3, and so on and so forth. 1, 2, 3, 4 slash, 1, 2, 3, 4 slash. Someone did an etching of that and somehow sold it for thousands of dollars to the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Why? Anyone can make that. I mean, how do people get away with that? That's one of the mysteries of the universe. I mean, yeah, there's some good artwork there, but... And I remember a bunch of stuff there brought me into, flashbacks of when I was in art school and I took art history class, and we learned about the Italian paintings from the Renaissance, and, well, there wasn't any Dadaism there, which Dada was a guy who made fun of art in a way. One of my heroes. And there's a lot of good paintings there and stuff. I can't describe them all. I saw so much. But there's this one little room, one little exhibition that showed crime photos. It was kind of like a CSI type crime photo thing from the 1920s, 30s, and 40s. And there's some interesting stuff there. Because, I mean, it wasn't like very gory or anything, but showed like crime scene photos and trying to capture the criminals' faces to make them look more evil. It was kind of like that. That was kind of cool. And after the Met, we went to Central Park. We walked through Central Park again. Thursday kind of sucked because that was the day it was raining. I mean, and that coupled with the wind and how cold it was, I don't like getting soaked. I mean, I had a good jacket. I brought my umbrella. We were all prepared. I wear tennis shoes, and some of the water got my shoe. But, it wasn't that bad. We ate at the Atlantic Grill, which was off of the west side of, I can't remember what street it was on, but it was on like the west side of Central Park, down one of those little streets, side streets. And that was a good place to eat. A lot of good food. Great seafood. And that's one of the best things I liked about my New York City trip is all the food. The food in New York City is awesome, if you know where to go. I mean, there are some tourist trap places that aren't that good that I've heard about, but luckily my cousins have been there before and they know all the good places. Right. First night in the hotel, Wednesday night. This is when I found out that I was not going to have a very happy trip if I was going to be staying at this place. This hotel is one of those pod hotels that have really small rooms, and because I got one of the smaller rooms, of course, to save money, we had to have a shared bathroom. In my room, there's a sink and a bed and a little desk with a chair and some lights, and that was it. I mean, the inside design is nice and compact. I mean, it's not like dirty or anything. The sheets on the bed were clean. I mean, everything looked clean. It was. I don't really mind being in a small thing, but I don't like having to walk almost 100 yards to take a shower. Yeah, it's down the hall. Wore my tennis shoes, went down there and everything. Because I thought on the website it said a shared bathroom. I'm thinking, oh, okay, so my bathroom is right next to joining another person's room, but when I'm in there I can lock the door so that they can't walk in on me, showering or whatever. It wasn't like that. You had to go down the hall and there's like separate little rooms that the bathrooms were actually in, the toilet and the shower. One of the bathrooms had a window that you could actually open. Now, luckily, the window was kind of frosted over, so it wasn't a clear window, so people could look at it. It was frosted over, so no one could do that. I went in there one night, and someone had the window open, I guess, to let the heat out. And that's another problem with the showers, is that if you turned it on hot, and of course we wanted the water hot because it was cold outside. You want to warm up a little bit when you take a shower. And most of the time, I got the one bathroom that didn't have a window, because someone else was using the other one. And there's this pipe, this hot pipe. And how did I know it was a hot pipe? I didn't touch it. I felt the heat coming off of it. The people who own this hotel, wrapped some kind of foam material around it to keep people from accidentally touching the pipe and getting their hands burned, because I put my hand near the pipe and I could feel the heat coming off of it. That, coupled with the fact that I had, warm water, hot water on or whatever, and it was hard to get the water adjusted just right. The heat that built up in the shower after you finished taking the shower, it was humid in there afterwards, so I kept sweating. I'm like, okay, I don't want to open the door because someone could be walking down the hallway and look inside. I try to open the door to let some of the heat out, because I had the bathroom without the window. Oh, but I mean, I made it work on the nights I was there. My cousins, they had already gotten a room with a shower in there, which their shower is like right off a couple steps away from the end of their bed. These rooms were so small. I'm just used to the hotels, the good old-fashioned hotels, where you get a room with a bed, and there's a bathroom right there, and you can actually walk around. But of course, those hotels in New York City like that were ridiculously priced. Okay, continuing with the trip. Another thing I noticed about the people of New York City is that, well, they're not very happy. When you're on the subway, and we took the subway quite a bit, people on the subway just... Oh, and it's a good thing not to make eye contact or stare at anybody for too long on the subway.
What you doing, boy? What you looking at me, boy?
No, it's not like that. I don't... I'm sorry. But I've heard of things like that happening, though. That you don't want to stare at anybody, you just want to, pay attention to your own little area, situational awareness. Don't mess with anyone, of course. It's New York City. People up there in New York City, they work hard. They probably live in crappier apartments than the hotel we had, of course. The rent is ridiculous. I was reading some stuff online about people writing about living in New York City. Oh, the first year is great because you move to New York City, you think you're hot stuff, but then over time it wears off in the following years and you realize you've got a crappy job, your apartment isn't that good, but you're paying a ridiculous amount of rent a month for it. Yeah, I mean, that sounds about right. I don't want to live in New York City. I like it right here where I am in Georgia. And when I got back from this trip, I realized how much I missed this place, And yeah, I think where I live, it's all right, I go up to New York City, come back, oh, I love this place. I love it. I mean, I'm kind of out in the woods. It's nice. I don't live right next to a highway. And oh yeah, our hotel. Even though we were on the 9th floor, you could still hear like, beep, 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 beep. Hey, get away! Oh, fun times, fun times. Okay, so let's see, what else did we do? We did a lot of stuff, a lot of walking. We walked about 8 miles a day, 8 or 9 usually. Let me see, what else did we do? Oh yeah, I think Wednesday, it may have been Wednesday, we also went to, was it St. Paul's Cathedral? I think it was near Rockefeller Center. I have to consult my map, Google Maps here. Oh, St. Patrick's. It was St. Patrick's Cathedral on Madison and 50th Street. Yeah, that wasn't too far from our hotel. Just a few blocks down. But yeah, St. Patrick's Cathedral. That was impressive. And of course, here's some pictures shot from the inside. That huge pipe organ. Man, when they built churches back then, they went all out. And I appreciate that. I mean, nothing cooler than a huge cathedral. Ugh. The elaborate designs and everything. Let's see. What else did we do? I'm trying to remember. I'm getting the days kind of blurred together after a while because we did so much. And I got tired. Because I didn't get much sleep the Tuesday night before the trip. I did get some good sleep Wednesday night. I was a little more refreshed on Thursday. Oh yeah, that was a lot of outdoor stuff. We did the Statue of Liberty, which we only walked around the base, didn't go up in the statue. Then we did Ellis Island, which was about all the immigration history, people moving to America for over 100 years, just track records of all that stuff. And that was interesting. We spent about 3 hours there. We didn't get to go to the New York Stock Exchange, sadly. We just got to the outside of the building. I mean, they'd already closed. It was after 4 o'clock, closing bell and everything. We also saw the 9/11 Memorial building, where you see, that was emotional because you heard of the reports. There's like little audio theater thing and a diagram showing, you listen to people's story and it shows on where in the World Trade Centers they were, and they had a bunch of they had part of the tower, the radio tower thing on top of one of the buildings. They had that. They had a fire truck, Ladder 3, that was crushed when the first tower went down, I believe. But there was a lot of stuff in that memorial museum. Oof. Like I said, it was emotional because you think about what I remember where I was and everything. I was like in band class when 9/11 happened and the planes hit the buildings and they came down. I saw all of that on TV. Just to hear the stories is like, wow. You really got like a 360-degree angle of like everything that happened in that memorial. I mean, a lot of information, and it even had information on the 1993 World Trade Center bombing, which was at one of the top of one of the towers. We saw the Episcopal Church on Wall Street, another elaborately designed church, much smaller than St. Patrick's though. Then, what else? Oh, I ate a hot dog, a New York City hot dog, on one of those classic little hot dog stands. And it was actually pretty good. I thought it was going to be kind of bad, but it was actually good. They know what they're doing with their hot dogs. So Friday, we went to Little Italy. We went through Chinatown into Little Italy Friday evening, and we went to this place called Casa Bella. I just like saying it that way because it's kind of Italian. And I probably butchered the pronunciation a little bit. Ooh, sorry. It was good. I had lasagna, a slice of that delicious chocolate cake. Oh my gosh. Good food, great food in New York City. Then after that, we decided, well, we're going to walk off our supper on the Brooklyn Bridge. And Brooklyn Bridge, the walkway that's in the middle, elevated from the roads, not a lot of room up there. It's deceiving, actually. Half of it is a bike lane, and the other half is where you walk. And there was a lot of people there that evening, and we had a little bit of trouble getting across. We got about halfway across towards Brooklyn, took a picture or two, then we went on our way back. Took the subway back. Like I said, the subways weren't that bad. There was one car we were in that had like a homeless guy, and he stunk up the whole car. Didn't bother us though, he was just having a nap. So we got back to the hotel Friday night. I took my final shower, which I don't know what it was about that final night, but whoever used the shower before me in that shared bathroom, they messed up the heating system. It's like the last person who took a shower there had it at 200 degrees Fahrenheit. Why? I mean, I don't know what these people did to mess up this thing. I had to mess with it for 5 minutes just to get it back to the normal heat temperature, the normal warm temperature. I mean, I didn't want to take a scalding hot shower. No. The skin would be all red and stuff. But anyway, so, got through with that. Went to bed. And then the next day, I grabbed breakfast real early. We got together in that limo, went back to LaGuardia, hopped on a plane back for Atlanta. So happy to get back to Atlanta. I mean, no offense to people who live in New York City. I mean, it is a beautiful city in its own special way. But there's no place like home in Georgia. Which is why so many people probably have moved to Georgia from up north. They get tired of the cold, they want to come down here to a more temperate climate. I don't blame you for coming down to Georgia. A lot of people that live around here are like, what are all these Yankees doing down here? This is our land. But hey, I understand. You guys like temperate climate. I mean, I like temperate climate. It's great. I mean, outside we're going into spring right now. It's still a little chilly, but not too bad. Just right now to go outside. I might go outside here in a few minutes as well. But yeah, that was my trip to New York City. And I just want to say I do respect the working people of New York City. I understand, why they look kind of downtrodden. They're working hard. It's like they're spinning their tires in the mud. They're not really going anywhere. But I mean, if you stick it in there and get better jobs as you move along, do good work in New York City, then you will get up there. And if you don't, if you feel yourself slipping and you can't, pay enough money on the rent, you start to get evicted, just move far away from New York City. Get to a place where it's not so crowded and everything, because I think that's why everyone is so stressed out in New York City. You got people pancaked on top of each other living in those buildings. And they're all like, oh gosh, oh, I can't sleep. Neighbors are yelling next door and the landlord won't do anything about it. Move out. Just leave. I mean, you got millions and millions of people crammed into this one, like, area. No wonder your people are honking at each other in traffic. You're angry, you're upset. I mean, okay, they've got it. You know, people of New York City, they're used to it. I get it. You know, it's what their life is like. Oh, jaywalking. Surprisingly, we did a lot of jaywalking, and apparently they don't care. I mean, you just walk in front of a car, and do. I mean, I saw a bunch of women do that, and well, of course, yeah, if the car hit them, and the person driving the car would get sued hundreds of thousands of dollars, probably. Yeah, even though the lady who walked across the street jaywalked wasn't even paying attention, get away with it. Probably. I'm paraphrasing. Probably. Oh, I forgot. We saw a play. It's a play produced by Steve Martin. It's called Bright Star. It was a good show. We went to the Court Theater, which is right along Broadway, along all the different, theater places. It was a good play. Yeah. Had a bluegrass, some banjo music, a fiddle. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, there's like piano, some drums. And it was a very simplistic, put-together play. You know, not a lot of props, but they did a good job. They made it work. Anyway, yeah, that was my trip to New York City. Yay! Glad to be home. And I will try to make more videos. I'm going to try to, pump some more videos out there. I know I haven't been doing much because I got addicted to World of Warships. Yeah, that's kind of the reason I haven't been putting out much videos. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.